Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. Today I was so excited to have one of my dendrobiums bloom that I grew from seed. And I have my dendrobiums, and I should say that some of the plants that I have now that are flowering from seed were done in my earlier days of flasking and breeding. So some of those plants are not labeled very well. And in reality, I have, for my dendrobiums, they're labeled Den 1, Den 2, Den 3, and I thought I knew what they are, but apparently I don't. And so I've had some plants bloom from a self of Dendrobium wulang, which is right here. So this is one of my favorite dendrobiums. Number one, I know what it is. It blooms constantly. It's a huge plant and it blooms all the time. There's some fragrance associated with it, very vigorous. I've got a few plants on the top shelf here. I've got some mounted on my trees. It really does well under these conditions. And I have some progeny of this as well. I've given some progeny away to other people. They send me images. Clearly the images that I've gotten are wulang self. This plant right here, this is bloomed for me. It's not blooming right now, but this is this was labeled. I wasn't sure what it is, but after it bloomed, it was clear that it was a self of wulang. So it had the same structure, the same flower growth habit of wulang, the parent plant, but it had some really light purple coloration on the petals. So that was wulang. And then I had this plant right here, which I got to get it out here. And I should say, with my dendrobiums, I have them on my shelf, and they're wedged up there. So I have them on my shelf, and they're hard to get down because they're up there and they grow up into my bougainvillea, and I take them down and they tear, and there's some other issues. But this bloomed and I was excited because the blooms were big, they were light in color, and I thought, okay, this is going to be, and then I saw the blooms open a little bit a few days ago, and I thought, oh, this is going to be some more intense purple coloration in the blooms, and this was going to be another wulang self with some really unusual coloration. And so this thing opened, and after it opened, the only thing I figured out is that wulang is one of the parents, but the other parent is not wulang. It's not a self. So this is Dammit, another mystery orchid in my collection. So I know the parent, the parent, one of the parents is wulang behind me, but then I wasn't sure what the other one is. And I don't have that many dendrobiums, but I looked around and there's only one other parent that it could be, and it's growing actually behind me here and on a date palm in front of my house. And that is a no ID dendrobium. And what that means then is I don't know, I can't register this plant, I can't do anything with this plant other than grow it and say, look how pretty it is. So this is a really nice, it's a beautiful bloom, at least to me. The petals have some really nice purple coloration to them. The sepals have a little lighter purple to them, and which is really nice. It makes for a nice contrast, and I really do like the appearance of these flowers. They're big flowers on this plant, really nice color to it. It had, this was a new pseudobulb or new cane that grew out. Here's another cane right here that's growing out. It's a really nice plant. When I looked at the label, so the label that I found in the pot here, it was cracked into 4 pieces, and I took them inside and I assembled, and I could read, and what it said was Den 2, which doesn't mean anything to me other than here is another Den 2 right here. So this is a sibling of this plant, and I have a few of these that now that have gotten larger that should be blooming, and I'm happy to see what they are, but I'm not going to be able to, you know, ID them in any other way. So again, Den 1, Den 2, Den 3. So I have, you know, I have some that one that I know is a Wu Lang self. I have this one that is likely a cross between Wu Lang and another a no ID Dendrobium that is growing in my collection. And I did look in my notebook, because my notebook is where I did, even in the early days, I kept decent notes, even if I didn't know, you know, what the cross was. Now I know, I've learned, I know what all my crosses are, I know what the parents are, and the only time I'm going to get messed up is if the stake falls out, the tag falls out of the plant, or, you know, a bird carries it off, or something like that happens. Anyway, I looked at my notebook and I saw that I had Den 2 listed in my notebook as I was transferring it from one flask to another flask. It was about 4 years ago that I have it in my notebook that these were still in flasks. So this is blooming. This is my first bloom off of Den 2, whatever that is. And that was this plant was probably deflasked maybe 3.5 years ago. All right, so that's all I have for you today. You know, Dammit, a nice plant, but it's another orchid mystery because I don't know what one of the parents are. So, but you know, nice bloom, yay, but I don't know what it is. All right, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, nice bloom, but I'll keep it. It's a nice bloom. All right, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.